Hi, kids. Okay. On this day in film history for July 7th. So, a couple of films that were released on this day that I'll mention. More than a couple, but there's just two that I'm going to mention. So, 1939, The Rules of the Game premiered in Paris. I talked about it in the Greatest Films of All Time series briefly, directed by Jean Renoir. Jean Renoir. Uh, so that premiered 1939, Paris, and then because it is seventh month, seventh day in 1977, we have a 007. The Spy Who Loved Me premiered in London. It is the 10th James Bond film in the series. Not too bad, 10th in the series in 77. I think the Dr. No was in 62. So we got 10 Bonds in 15 years. This is the third Bond film with Roger Moore. And of course, the Bond films are produced by the Broccoli family. Cubby Broccoli, who I mentioned in yesterday's video for July 6th. Let's do some birth dates on this day. In 1899, director, producer George Cukor was born. I've talked about him in the Gone with the Wind video and the Wizard of Oz video because he was at one time very briefly involved with as director in some capacity those two films and removed from those two films. Also, I talked about him in the Gaslight video, director of that. He is the director of the Judy version of A Star is Born, and it's a Best Picture winner, Academy Award winning film, My Fair Lady. 1901, so 2 years after that, still a long time ago, Vittorio De Sica was born, Italian neo-realist film director. About him briefly in my video for Bicycle Thieves, another one of the greatest films of all time. Moving on, in 1940, Richard Starkey was born, or Ringo Starr. You can say that's not film history, but Ringo's been in films, right? Magic Christian, Hard Day's Night. He's also Thomas and Friends. That's not a film though, but I'm sorry, I had to mention Ringo Starr. 1949, the birthday of Shelley Duvall. Shelley Duvall, depending on who you are, I think a lot of people who are casual movie fans will say Shining. I think she's better known, or should be better known, for her work with Robert Altman. Robert Altman discovered her, and he was kind of her muse for a little bit. She was in quite a number of his films, and I'm going to list a bunch of them. So she's in Brewster McCloud, she's in McCabe and Mrs. Miller, she's in Thieves Like Us, which I mentioned because it is also based on the same source material of They Live by Night. She is in Nashville. She is in Buffalo Bill and His Indians. She's in Three Women, maybe her best performance, and she's in Popeye. All of those Robert Altman films featuring Shelley Duvall. And then 1975, Veronica Lake dies on this day, age 50, from cirrhosis of the liver. I think she also had kidney injuries, hepatitis, rough go from alcoholism. So dies at 50. Of course, she is the film noir femme fatale. She is the inspiration for Jessica Rabbit, or one of the inspirations for Jessica Rabbit. Anyways, that's it for film history on July 7th. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. See you tomorrow.